The all-new 5th generation redesigned Kia is here. 2023 Kia Sportage SX front-wheel drive in your ebony black. What's new besides the whole new generation off-road variant trims like an X Line or an X Pro? It's longer. It has the best interior legroom, available hybrid and plug-in hybrid. But is this redesigned 5th generation going to be competitive against the VW, the Toyota, Subaru? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. 5th generation Kia Sportage. Does it hit the mark? Well, they start off with that boomerang daylight running lights that brush into your bumpers and your fenders, all LED. The X Pro will add black roof rails that are also raised similar to the Subaru Forester. The SX receives the LED daytime running headlamps, fog lamps, the Tiger Nose grille that's refreshed. On this side here, no functionality, but it keeps a performance-driven style with the nostrils right above the hood in your Kia badging. On the lower, you'll get that chrome elements that just make it a little bit more elegant. This is also wider by nearly ½ an inch. It's taller by nearly an inch. Ground clearance has also increased by almost an inch at 8.3 inches. Subaru will be the best. But what I like about what you're getting here is you can even escalate this to an Acura and an Infiniti. And I think this one looks a little bit more dynamic. Similar to the Honda HR-V, it's increased in length by over 7 inches at 183.5 inches with a wheelbase at 108.5 inches. For the EX, you'll get these 18-inch matte multi-spoke alloy wheels. You'll also receive the roof rails with the gloss black, the pano moonroof, the mirror cap with the gloss black, a McPherson strut front suspension on the rear with a torsion beam, a dynamic style, everything just polished off correctly. The lower roof spoiler all the way to the lower where the business looks like it's more performance oriented. Grille pattern inside, your reverse camera, your reverse parking sensors, the new Kia badging, LED tail lamps, and how it's a simple yet closed off, touch-free power tailgate. It looks more cleaned up. Going inside to 39.6 cubic feet. We have LED interior lights with a 12 volt. Your spare tire, you can also fold this down and it'll give you about a couple inches more. You split fold the rear bench in the back just by pulling the levers. That's going to increase the cargo to 71.4 cubic feet, which is going to be about 14 cubic feet more than the 4th generation. Towings decreased to 1,653 pounds. But did Kia nail it with performance numbers? Because it's a 2.5 liter Smart Stream 4-cylinder. Let's go inside, start it up, give it some riz so you can hear that exhaust note. Kia has definitely made the style of their vehicles go to the next level. And if you don't need a third row like a Kia Telluride, this is definitely a great alternative. And they back the engine performance with a 2.5 liter GDI Smart Stream 4-cylinder producing 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 25 to 32 mpgs. 0 to 60 is under 9 seconds. It's in the 8-second range. Quarter mile is around 15.9 to 16.8 with the top speed around 130 miles per hour. Now, this is not going to be the fastest in the category. It's going to be faster than the Volkswagen Tiguan. It's also going to have more torque than the Volkswagen. You'll have a little bit less performance than the Toyota RAV4. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 5th generation 2023 Kia Sportage SX as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Kia Sportage SX. Increase of headroom by 2 inches at 39.6 inches. The same at 39.4 inches of an increase of 1.5 inches more than the prior gen. It's going to be less than the RAV4. Because this is a brand new car, we're going to pull off some of the elements so you can really see what it looks like. This dash You'll have the aluminum inlays, you get the gloss black and the silver going for your air vents on the passenger side. You'll get the contrast stitching on the top, and it gives a two-tier flowing into this single panel dual 12.3 infotainment screens that come out of the EV6. When you click over here, you will have your quick tabs for the passenger. It is a little bit more driver focused. We have the pinch, we got the swipe, click into the home button. You have your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, Kia connection. Switch it to reverse. You have a reverse camera with full trajectory. Because it's a large screen, it really does make it easy for your reversing. Click here and you can line it up for your tow line. Underneath that, you'll have your air vents. Pulling some of this off so you can see your touch screen for your dual climate control settings. On the driver's side, you get the gloss black and that silver around your air vent, and the same pattern goes into the driver cluster. With a 3-spoke leather wrap steering wheel, it's multi-function. We get the matte black that's going to surround it, a 12.3 digital gauge cluster. When you change the modes, it will change the whole driver display. Moving along to your wireless charging pad, 2 USB ports, and a 12 volt here. You can also use this with a large cell phone. The gloss black goes into here. Adjustable cup holders, you just push the button right there, and you just slide it back right like that. Because it's new, we have to remove things. Soft for your elbows, open up inside. It's a deep, pretty wide front seats. They're leather wrapped, 10-way power adjustment for the driver. Unfortunately, for the passenger, it's not power adjustment. 4-way manual adjustments, heated front seats. Kia thinks about how everything fits. So if you look at the dash, it rolls right into the door panel and it curves out here. And we're gonna have to peel out some more stuff to show you that aluminum pattern that they give. It's very seamless with your memory for the driver. Gloss black for one touch up and down. Front windows, it's soft where you rest your elbows. Pretty large storage pocket, it's just not so wide. You can fit about one bottle with your upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. For the back seats, everything's increased again. 39.4 inches, which is over 2 inches of an increase. 41.3 inches, which is over 3 inches of an increase from the prior gen. It's going to be pretty soft back here. You do sit up higher, but you can recline these seats pretty far back, as you can see. For your armrests or elbows, a little bit firm. You can see you pretty much cover the cup holder area. Not flat for the floor. You have a large storage pocket. Your air vents, USB on both sides behind the driver and passenger. You have storage. You have a little area that you can hang things. And another nice thing they do is they give you a little hanger area right here behind the headrest. So that way you don't have clothes just dangling every which way. The door panel gets the same materials that are in the front, and it comes back into the rear, just a little bit more harder materials on the top, soft for your elbows, and you get that gloss black around your one touch down. A smaller storage pocket, the Harman Kardon comes into the back. Sitting in the center, headroom is not an issue, nor is leg room. You're gonna be sharing feet, butt, and shoulder space. The seats are not as wide, and you sit up a couple inches. If we fold these seats back a bit, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for the center occupant. And if you needed to go for about an hour drive, it's not going to be too bad. It's very firm for your back in the center. And because of the way the fold is, it's not the widest vehicle. You can feel the difference like in the edge of your butt. So you kind of feel like you're not all the way on the seat. Taking the 2023 Kia Sportage SX out for our test run. 2.5 liter. 4-cylinder, 187 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 numbers are not going to be performance driven like a luxury vehicle. You're going to get in the mid 8 seconds to near 9 seconds. Over 7 inches longer, over an inch increase in ride height to clearance of 8.3 inches. So I do like that because now we're at almost Subaru numbers. It's right at the same numbers as a Toyota RAV4 TRD. And look at the performance that you're getting. It's a throaty 4-cylinder sound, not as drone-like, The windscreen is also enlarged. It feels very similar to an EV6 in the interior, especially because they put this pano screen for your two 12.3-inch displays. I mean, for $33,000, $34,000 vehicle, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. Some things that I would like to have seen is maybe 19-inch wheels, even a 20-inch, and better design, because that I dislike right off the bat. It really takes away from the performance style. Braking, I mean, you can stop on a dime. It's good with that. The steering wheel is pretty light, so it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. For everyday drive, it's good. Turn radius at a stop point is going to receive 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. It gets so loud, but you don't seem to really go anywhere whenever you're pushing it, so it's a little weird. Now, there's 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this Sorento. The 3 things that I like about the vehicle is they've altered some of the geometry, and the drive is actually more smooth, and it really does put it with a luxury tier. The disadvantage to that is the engine in this is not there yet. I kind of wish they gave it a little bit more performance, because I get it, we're at the 33 grand number, but still at least 220, 250, so it gives a little bit of a push. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is you're getting the EV6 screen inside. The dash layout with the aluminum look, everything polished off. You have so much storage cubbies inside here. If you don't want to go Telluride, you can do this. The last thing that I like about the vehicle is how they have on the headrest where you can hang up your clothes, you can hang up wires or anything, because it has a little shelf back here. That's just really cool, because it almost gives you that Jaguar Land Rover feel, in the sense of you can do things behind the driver's seat. We're going to put it into smart mode, so that way we can see if there's any difference. It doesn't really change anything. Put it back into sport mode. It's really about the same, just the sport mode kicks up the RPM, so it's going to drink some things like your gas. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle is the performance, because we're so close to full-blown luxury amenities, in the sense that I can compare this against an Infiniti and an Acura, but the numbers will not suggest that at all. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle is it's wide, don't get me wrong, but it's not overly wide. So when you do this driver focus and everything's tilted towards the driver, it really pushes the passenger out the door. And I dislike that because it's a smaller vehicle. If it's a larger vehicle, you can get by with that. The last thing that I dislike is the wheel design. They did such a great job with the performance style on the exterior, and then they just were like, throw these wheels on there. And you know, a lot of automotive industry, they do this, and it really takes away from the key components of what this vehicle is, especially inside. I mean, you get touch sensitive for your dual climate control settings. This panel, all the gloss black, the aluminum look, everything is just so expensive looking. It really is more superior than Toyota, than Honda, than Subaru, especially when you're thinking of the luxury that's inside here. You get leather seats, power seat adjustments. Unfortunately, the passenger side at this price point doesn't get any power adjustments, which that is something that, because you're getting all these bells and whistles, just go ahead and throw it in there. Comparing it against the Infiniti QX50, the interior of that is going to be outdated compared to this. This is more tech rich, plus you get more safety features inside this with a huge saving. Same thing when you go into Acura or Honda, Toyota, Subaru. This is going to get the most elegant looking of all of them. The drive to it, it doesn't feel very bumpy, and that's because they chose to go with a smaller wheel. Obviously, if you went to a larger wheel, it would alter that. As for the dynamics, I mean, you could move in and out of traffic without any issues. It's top heavy, so don't go crazy. It's not that long of a vehicle, so you could still kind of play around, even though it's increased in the length and the ride height. I like to thank Regal Kia for giving us this 2023 Kia Sportage SX for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, what the heck are you waiting for? Click the next video, the subscribe button, check out the merchandise details website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.